Hi guys, welcome back to another painting tutorial. So today we're going to be looking at how we can go about painting some of those German tank crew that we've got in their Panzer Black uniform. So follow along and hopefully it will help. So to start off with, we're going to be painting the initial part of the uniform in Panzer Tank Crew. So the paints I'll be using today are all Vallejo, so model color, Panzer Aces, and just a generic Vallejo range. And I've got all of the paints listed on the video at each applicable step. So one of the biggest problems with painting German Panzer uniforms is the fact that it's just so dark. If we're going with the typical black uniform, so we try and fix that in other ways by making sure that the few details that they've got stand out more. So that could be the insignia, the flesh, his headset, all of that good stuff. So try and capture all of that just to make that model pop out a bit more. Because the uniform at this scale, 50mm, is very difficult to paint and to make look realistic. But hopefully this will help in some way. So once we've painted that, we're going to move on to German Camo Pale Brown. We're using pale brown for the skin tone, so we're going to be, this is initial base color for his skin. So we're going to make sure we're painting nose, cheeks, chins, hands, fingers, neck, the neckline if you can see it. But don't put it all in one massive blob. Try and use that darker color that you've got down that you prime your model in to try and add a few little lines just for the shade, so they can sort of differentiate the different parts of the skin and the model. Once we've done that, we're going to highlight the uniform with German Tank Crew II. So it's a bit of a light grey colour. You might look at it going, oh, this is a bit too bright for this colour. That's fine. We're going to put a wash down later on. But I'll discuss that in more detail when we get to that step. So yeah, just try and capture those raised areas if you can. And this will help a lot with making that black pop. Once we've done that, we're now going to put a highlight of flat flesh on the skin. So again, capturing the same areas as what we did with that light brown color, but don't go over too much of that light brown color. Try and leave a little bit on there so you can see the two different color tones on there. Now I want this chap to have blonde hair, so I'm going to be putting a base coat down of old wood where his hair would be coming out of his cap. Then I'm going to be putting a coat of US Field Drab down on his headset. So here I'm trying to capture the actual headphones, so each headphone left and right, and also the strap that connects the two headphones, and it might have a little bit that bulges out of the side of each each headphone. So just try and capture any detail you can there, which it's tricky at this scale, but you can do it. So it's got two straps, so try and get those two as well. So next I'm going to be painting his belt in German Camo medium brown. Some of these models don't have belts because you only get like the head up, but this model has a belt, so I'm painting that in that medium brown. Then I'm moving on to green ochre for the headset. So this is another like base color, if you will. So just leave some of that US Field Drab visible, but try and primarily use this green ochre. I use a smaller brush for this just because it's so small and difficult to get on it with a bigger brush. Once I've done that, I'm going to be giving it a little wash, a very diluted wash of water, and I'm using Umbar Wash, diluted heavily, just to give it a little bit of a darker tone. And then I'm going to be repeating that same process, but on the uniform itself with a black wash, but again, heavily diluted. So I just want to darken those highlights that I've done, but I don't want to ruin the highlights. So it's more of a tint than a wash because it's so heavily diluted. But yeah. I'm going to be moving back onto old wood, so I missed this before for the actual wires heading to the headset. So just paint those wires in old wood. Once you've painted the old wood on, you then want to highlight base coat deck tan on any of the white areas. So in this particular case, just his map or his notebook, painting that in deck tan. All right, so now we're ready to highlight the headset. We're going to be using Iraqi Sand for that. We're also going to be using Iraqi Sand to sort of highlight his hairline, so you can sort of like do a small little dry brush or anything you want to do, a few little lines and that, just to give it a really blonde look. I'm also going to be using Iraqi Sand to add the insulation on the actual wires, so I'm just adding little tiny dots along the top of the wires just to give it that insulated wire look. Again, maybe a bit overkill, but it's up to you if that's what you want to do. Now I'm going to be highlighting that brown belt. I'm going to be using orange brown for that. The two go quite well together for that leathery look, and it's a good highlight for a leather look. And then finally, I'm going to be adding in some small details. So I'm going to be adding the German eagle on top of his cap, a little dot just below that German eagle. I'm going to be adding the German eagle onto his tunic, and I'm also going to be painting that map white as well. And then you can add on any details on that map that you seem fit. I think I'll just put some black squiggles on there as if it's some sort of like uh, intelligence report or something. If you want to paint the pink epaulets and that, then you can use old rose, and you can do the same with the caps and that. So that's him all finished. You can see it's come out quite nicely. Still dark, but you can make out the highlights. And there he is in his King Tiger. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope this has been helpful. It's been a very quick one, but it is really simple process. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. It would be great. All the support that you guys have given me has been amazing too. So yeah, really appreciate it, guys, and I look forward to catching you at the next one.